China's deadly bubble face disaster. And I'm not watching this to be hateful. I'm watching this to basically see. But you know what? It's the same thing happens in the United States. Same thing happens in the United States. This is Wani. This is Wani.
Hey. Oh, what? You're talking to me? What do you mean? I always look like this. I mean, you too can look just like this.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I've never used face filters before in my life. My wife has used them on me every now and then. But I gotta say, it's just, yeah. Who do you like more, Ace or Trafalgar Law? I have 4 brothers. Law.
Now imagine this. A new beauty injection comes out that promises you'll look 10 times younger. Completely safe, no risks, nothing. At first, everybody believed it because for an entire year, everybody came out looking like they just reversed aging. Except just right after a year, one day...
You know what the funny part is? Let me see if I can get her photo.
Except just right...
Where's their photo? The funny thing is, the majority of this stuff happens due to skincare products. The majority of things that are in skincare products destroy the face. Like, I think I have actually pretty good face. Is it rough and coarse? Yes. But I have pretty good, my wife will complain about my face being dry, but I have pretty good face. I've never used any kinds of the products or whatever. I never cared to. Like facial care and stuff like that have never been important to me. What's funny is my wife is exactly the same. Never has like one of the smoothest, softest, prettiest faces, because she never really used any chemicals on her face, because they actually destroy your face down the road. And what's funny is, like, you see videos now of like kids who aren't even adults yet putting on like 20 different versions because they're trying to avoid acne, which is a natural course of life. And because they're removing their acne, they end up with a pockmarked face in the future.
Everybody came out looking like they just reversed aging. Except just right after a year, one day, every single person that got the injection, their face started imploding on itself. I mean, this is the first time I've seen a beauty procedure have a honeymoon face. We're talking about a beauty injection that worked flawlessly, a formula that instantly made you look younger and lasted for more than a year. And just one random morning, you wake up looking like a pufferfish. Chinese influencers have been promoting these so-called growth factor injections. And the way they sell it, it sounds like magic. One needle and your face...
Blink twice if I'm held at gunpoint. No, not gunpoint. Knife. It's knife point. But yeah, again, I know I'm blessed with my wife. And eventually she will join me once again. I keep asking. She's like, no, not today. Just like, okay.
Face completely fills out. Your cheeks look plump, your chin looks sculpted, and it was pretty much the secret anti-aging formula that people have been chasing for years. Listen, if you were in Shanghai gatekeeping a beauty procedure from everybody, you're getting slimed out by every influencer circle there is and their doctors. And I'm not even exaggerating, the before and after photos look insane. But here's the part that nobody tells you. Give it maybe a year or two, and then suddenly your face just starts moving around on its own. And that's exactly how people end up with the so-called bubble face effect. And it literally looks like they got stung by 1,000.
I mean, they look young for a year. You know what? I know what they need to do. The guys and girls that get the procedure, they have a year to find themselves a spouse. It's like they get the injection and they start the clock, and they gotta find one. Because after their wedding night, they're gonna wake up. Yeah, after their wedding night, maybe during the honeymoon, the woman will wake up next to the person. They'll stare at each other, and then both their faces would have swollen back to normal proportions. That's what they gotta do. And what's funny is both of them would most likely have swollen faces.
Bees at once, or like something's growing under their skin trying to escape. And the biggest danger is that massive delay time frame that tricks you to thinking everything's okay. but I mean, things can just go south any day. And this isn't just some rare side effect. You're pretty much rolling a dice to see if your face accepts it or rejects it. And most of the time, it don't like you. So what even are growth factors? Well,
I wonder if it has something to do with the DNA, because if some people can actually keep it, like they get the injections and it continues on, you know, that it just works for them. And some people it takes effect after a year and their face blows up. I'm pretty sure it has to do with like some kind of something to do with the DNA. But they would actually have to do tests and find out what the blood type is, find out like my wife would know all this stuff. She'd know all this stuff. She's the chemist. She's the chemist.
here's where it gets interesting. They're actually proteins that your body naturally produces, and doctors can use these as creams to either heal wounds or like recover from burns. Keyword, externally on your skin.
Legend has it gives you a perfect US accent for about a year. After that, you start sounding like a frog. You know what? Probably. I think having the stiff porcelain Botox, you know, the stiff porcelain kind of talking because you can't really move and emote all that much, it makes you sound like that. So yes, they sound very, very American after that.
Not internally, injected into your face. Because once you start injecting that stuff, it doesn't just fill your face like filler. It tells the cells in your face, hey, start growing and don't stop. So now your face is just constantly being spammed with signals to keep on growing tissue non-stop. And oh my god, imagine that for a second. Your face is literally stuck infinitely producing cells. Like the cells start multiplying uncontrollably and you start getting these lumps, this weird uneven swelling, and sometimes it literally looks like something is growing out of your face. It's always been like this. Cosmetic surgery was originally for treating past injuries, and growth factors were used to help wounds heal. Now they're all being used for appearance. Many netizens describe it as feeling pressure, pain, constant swelling, like their face is inflamed 24/7. Speaking of doctors, I'm the worst at booking doctor's appointments, like embarrassingly bad. For me, it was my eyes, because I honestly just kept putting off going to the eye doctor. I low-key started noticing that my eyes were dry all the time. This is where today's video sponsor, ZocDoc, comes in.
Yeah.
ZocDoc is a free website that helps you find and...
For me, I didn't go to the eye doctor for like 8 years until like I think it was a few months before my wedding. Before my wedding, I went to the eye doctor because it's like, you know what, I need to get eyes. The dentist, I think it's been close to like 10 years now. I haven't been to the dentist in like 10 years. I need to go. And you're supposed to see a dentist every, what is it, 6 months? Every 6 months. But the sad thing is like that there was a comment in the video where plastic surgery used to be for like correcting burn victims, for like people who had scars in the past. That's what it used to be.
For sponsoring this video and helping us all.
But it has changed over time where it's chasing a beauty aesthetic. And a lot of it has to do with social media, because back in the day, it used to be where you would see like the models, the attractive models that would pose for like outside of stores, like, you know, the photos that are up, like you would see those. It is just like, okay, because people want to buy things that attractive people are wearing. It's a way to sell things. Like when they sold video games, they had attractive women selling it. When they're selling like women's clothing or women's products, bags and things like that, they have attractive women selling it. Well, at least it used to be the case. And then they got the body positivity movement, which was basically stolen by women that were from certain communities in the world, certain religious communities in the world, which had acid poured on them because they chose not to wear the traditional garb. That's where the body positivity movement, until it got co-opted by fat people and ugly people in the US. But people started chasing that beauty culture because Instagram and things like that have encouraged people. It's like, you're not going to be successful unless you're attractive. And is there a part of society which gives attractive people a leg up? Yes, that is absolutely true. But you don't need to ruin who you are as a human being in order to get famous. I mean, heck, there are they're predominantly men. There are guys out there like I forget his name. He's like crippled, and everyone uses him for the meme. That's fine, but he's a successful YouTuber. He's an incredibly successful YouTuber and streamer. And then you have like Queso. incredibly overweight, but he just seems fun to watch. Like, you have those people, they can make it places. And what's funny, for guys, it's easy to get past the looks. It's easy to get past the looks. The problem is it's more difficult for women. You have to be an attractive woman in order to continue. And this is more like the streaming world and this kind of dynamic. Being attractive is more important for women than it is for guys. It's more important for women than it is for guys. But looking attractive does give you a leg up. However, it doesn't mean everything. But for some reason, people believe the lie that's pushed to them on social media. They're influencers on Instagram. They're influencers on YouTube. They're claviculars. They're Pokemains. They're the ones selling people a lie. When everyone should just be happy with who they are. Don't destroy yourself. Just continue living your life. Only go under the knife if you are in risk of something life-threatening. Like, heck, I've only been under the knife once? Twice. Once when I was 2 years old, the other time when I was 20. But yeah, it was just for life-threatening situations. But that was it. It was not to change anything about myself. But a lot of people, they want to be their best self. That they're willing to risk their body chasing something instead of just being happy with who they are.
We'll take better care of our health. And I know it may seem small, but just clicking the link in the description is a huge step towards prioritizing your health. So yeah, taking care of your health just got easier. Head to www.zocdoc.com/Wani to get started and check off that appointment on your to-do list. Now,
don't sugarcoat it. The fat and ugly people did not co-opt the movement. They hijacked it. Thank you. That is the correct way of saying it. That is the correct way of saying it. That it is primarily the fat people. Primarily the fat people that it was like, huh, you know what? That would work. And how many fat influencers are now deceased? In the last 10 years, how many fat influencers have not made it to adulthood? Well, they were adults, but didn't survive 10 years.
Ow. Once it's in your face, you can't just remove it. There's no undo button. There's no easy surgery to take it out. And if you try to remove it too early, it can actually make things worse. Like the remaining growth factor liquid that's in your face gets stimulated and starts growing even faster in random directions. Like imagine just like touching it and then it starts to spread out even more.
If anyone wants to upgrade your knowledge, perfect way of saying it. Be happy with who we are, absolutely.
所以千万不要去小工作室打这种生长因子。
Yeah, so many doctors refuse to even treat these cases. They don't want to touch it because it's that unpredictable and it's that risky, not just for the patient, but for the doctor as well. So most people, they just end up stuck with it and they're just living with faces that are just constantly changing, growing, and deforming. And even some people end up with these super sharp, unnatural noses and even chins that just keep extending over time. I mean, that chin really looks like it could slice a fruit in half. I mean, just take a look at this woman here named Miss Liang from Wu.
That was being rude. That chin looks like it could slice a fruit in half. No. That chin looked like it could punch holes in paper. It looked like it could punch holes in paper. Seriously.
It really looks like it could slice a
It's just like it just... Does your wife have an American accent? Yes. She sounds more American than I do. Yet, or is she awkward transition phase? So the funny thing is her trying to do an Indian accent is like the most adorable thing. I enjoy it when she does like an Indian accent because she tries so hard because she needs to put her head in that mindset to be like, all right, so going from the 20 languages she knows from India to transition them into English. So she's always thinking, and then she'll say it, and oh, it's adorable. It's absolutely adorable. But she's absolutely fluent, absolutely fluent. She just has a knack for languages. That's the only explanation.
Fruit in half. I mean, just take a look at this woman here named Miss Liang from Wuhan. She wasn't even someone who was chasing extreme beauty standards. She said she was fine with how she looked, but she just one day thought, why not just improve it a little bit? That's it. Just one appointment and her life changed. After getting the injection, her face didn't just swell up a little bit. It blew up. like literally inflated. She described it like her face was turning into a balloon, and she said that she became scared even of her own reflection. She had growth factor, so it spread everywhere, and at the time she did try to fix it using surgery multiple times, and each time the growth came back. It kept regenerating constantly after each and every repair, and doctors could only slow down the process. And this just gets really sad, honestly.
我误打生长因子，之前每个人都说我很好看、漂亮，我被朋友骗去打的。第一次打完挺好看的就上瘾了，第二次打完不到1个月就变形了，发红、发胀，而且很麻木，无法接受。
Even to this day, she still posts on Douyin about her weekly repairs and warns people to avoid just even doing anything to your face. Now you might be wondering, how does something this sketchy blow up on a platform with millions of people? How are the clinics even getting away with this, even though it's an illegal procedure in China? Well, simple, rebranding. Because nobody's walking into a clinic like, can I get these illegal growth factor injections that might permanently ruin my face? Instead, they just slap a new label on it and they call it like youth serums, growth peptides, or like face activation. I mean, these clinics know that growth factor injections are illegal for cosmetic use, so they just sell the same thing under a different name. Instead of growth factor injection, it's baby face packages. Because everybody and their mother is obsessed with the baby face aesthetic. They'll post these aesthetic clinic visits where there's like soft lighting and then just some girl laying down getting injected, and the caption is always like, finally achieving my dream baby face. But there's one renowned influencer who massively blew up this year, and she got what I would say is the worst possible outcome from all of this. We're talking about a Douyin influencer known as Peach Blossom Baby. She basically became the living embodiment of what happens when you just go overboard with chasing perfection. She started young at 17, and before that, she's always had this intense awareness of how she looked and her appearance. She was tall, like around 1.8 meters in middle school, which really made her stand out. And she hated being tall. She constantly felt watched and judged, which made her just obsess over her appearance, to the point where school didn't even really matter anymore. And you know what she did? She lied to her parents. She told them she needed 200,000 RMB, which is around $30,000, to start a business with a friend. She said if it worked, she'd double it, triple it, and her parents believed her. They gave her all their savings, like all of it. And what did she first do? She went straight to get plastic surgery. I mean, if I ever thought of doing something like that as a kid, I would just be instantly banished to the Shaolin temples to train as a monk for the rest of my life. Now, that was just the beginning, because over the next 8 years...
Why those Asians are so hyper obsessed with the way they look, as if they are chasing a fake lifestyle? Well, they are. And the thing is, like, that's why I started off with, it's not just China. It's just not everywhere in the world. They have these subcategory of people, and for the most part, it is women chasing it. But guys do fall down this avenue of wanting to look young, wanting to be attractive, like. Clavicular is like the embodiment of like the male in the West trying to chase this, where you're doing drugs continuously, you're injecting your face, you're smashing your face with a hammer, you know, that kind of nonsense, in order to remain as attractive as you could possibly be. There are people all around the world that deal with it. I just like watching it in China every now and then, because I can shut off my brain and pretend that the US isn't this bad. I can shut off my brain and pretend that the US isn't this bad. And then I step outside and then I'm like, oh yeah, we're just as ruined here. We're just as ruined here, because people easily fall victim to this kind of stuff. They listen to their favorite idols. They listen to their favorite singers. They listen to their favorite actor. They listen to their favorite influencer. Their favorite streamer, their favorite YouTuber, their favorite Instagram model. They listen to those people, and they're gonna follow what they say. That's just how it works. And then all these people end up following that pipeline. They all do, and they ruin their lives because of it. And the next thing you know, you'll see the person working as a cashier in some kind of random gas station because they can't find a job anywhere else anymore, because they dedicated their lives, instead of furthering their knowledge and getting an education, it was to, well, get injections and ruin their lives in the future.
She got procedures, like procedures. Over 1,000
Ivankov, yeah, that correct everyone.
And 200 of which were growth factor injections.
Ivankov would also help all the transgenders out there. Yeah, she would do an amazing job. He would do an amazing job making them all happy.
just for her forehead. And the goal? Become an internet celebrity, escape the 9-to-5 normal, normie jobs. Jobs aren't for people who've had plastic surgery, so she created her persona.
Gym is the best looks maxing tool.
Now
Absolutely.
this is where everything collapses, because
Staying
all of those
active.
growth factor injections,
Calorie
they
counting.
didn't just sit there nicely. Her forehead
Eating
started
properly.
swelling, and not like, oh, just a little bump. It started protruding outward, like a hammerhead shark. But luckily, it deflated, okay? It calmed down, it deflated, and it left a massive dent. Her entire face became swollen, unstable, and she noticed that when she pressed on her forehead, it would literally sink in. Like, it wasn't hard
Oh, got my way. Yeah.
It didn't just stop there, because her
But-
facial nerves compressed so badly that she now has permanent, uncontrollable twitching.
that was
And you can see
bonklé.
in all her videos, it has a mind of its own. Her face also became misaligned, and she even lost a part of her sense of smell, and she genuinely fears that one day she might even go blind.
6月1号，我从长沙坐飞机来的泰国。我在2020年的时候，额头因为注射过多量的玻尿酸，导致玻尿酸中毒，导致玻尿酸感染，额头大面积的溃烂。当时额头感染了以后，化脓，里面都进行烂了，而且里面都产生积液了。后期经开刀进行取出，住院的。
You know, it's fascinating. The solution for them poisoning their face at a young age, you know, putting the makeup products and everything that poisons their face, is to inject the poison into their face once they become adults. It's so sad. It's so sad that there has to be more awareness for this. Like, that's why I've told my story every now and then, not my entire story, but like how my medication and things like that, how I was on so many meds. But the thing is, doctors don't care about treating the root cause and giving information. They only care about how much money they can make. How much money they can make. So if they can sell you an expensive procedure, they get paid more. If they can convince you not to do something, guess what? They don't make anything except off your visit. And I absolutely despise that. I absolutely despise that. And that's the sad part. People go to professionals to get information, to get advice. The problem is a lot of professionals aren't professional anymore. They're ads. They're ad pipelines. That's what a lot of professionals are. Doctors don't give you, don't solve your problem. They sell you a solution. Does that sound right? I think that sounds right. Because they treat the effect, not the root cause.
7天，给大家看一下之前的样子。我真的很后悔，真的很后悔。大家以我为戒，千万不要再往脸上打一些什么玻尿酸、童颜针、胶原蛋白等一系列的填充物品，后期真的会很麻烦。你们知道，人体面积感染超过15%，真的就是无力回天了。华佗在世都治不好，我现在真的很担心，我头又晕，我而且还发烧，还恶心。
And it's not like she didn't try to fix it. She went to hundreds of surgeons all over China, begging for help. And every single one of them refused because the damage was just way too severe. It was too risky, too complex, so she's just now stuck with the face for the rest of her life. Now, despite everything, she didn't just disappear from social media. She actually leaned into it even more. Today, she continues posting as an influencer, like talking about her condition, showing the effects, and just vlogging.
Doctors prescribe drugs, which insurance companies tell them to prescribe. If you are lucky, you get well. If you don't, there is another sleep or in the pipeline, another sheep in the pipeline. Yeah. Or if you don't get well, there's another drug. There's another drug that'll be sold to you. And then you have to be sold like 20 drugs on top of it in order to deal with the side effects. But yeah, I saw an MD. There was, what's funny is the brother of the MD I saw, the medical doctor I saw, who prescribed me all the medications. The brother was my primary care physician. And he would always go like, I don't understand what's going on here. You need to go to Stanford's child clinic. Because he was honest to be like, I don't know what's going on. However, his sister, the MD, kept just, oh, you need this. You need these drugs. You need these drugs. You need these drugs. Because they get paid to prescribe the drugs.
her daily life. And in many of her videos, she does warn people about plastic surgery and even uses herself as an example. Except she says that she'd still rather die than stop. So, Peach, once again, we're giving mixed signals. Of course, netizens were shocked. Her entire story and her face went viral, and she even became like the prime example of the bubble face look. Many netizens even crowned her as a pioneer for paving the wave of that bubble face effect. So after hearing all the dangers about these growth factor injections, you'd probably think it just gets shut down immediately, right? Like illegal injections, people getting completely disfigured, surely the government stepped in and ended it, right? And yeah, they actually did. The Chinese National Medical Products Administration straight up just said growth factor injections for cosmetic use are completely banned. And on top of that, national media also started exposing these clinics, and doctors came out publicly warning people, and there's like a huge push to stop this trend from spreading. Nice.
You know, the sad part is the fact that these articles had to be done in short form content. The warnings for the products these people were chasing have to be done in short form content. It is sad how nobody can actually look up information. They have to be given short form content in order to learn something. Nobody can actually do their time, take the time to actually research something themselves. No, what they need is a 30 to 60-second video that explains to them why something's dangerous, that explains to them why something's good. The problem is the people who are getting on the take, getting paid, are gonna push something that's dangerous far more than the one person who's gonna do one short video explaining why it's dangerous. So guess what? The algorithm is gonna completely choose the ones that everyone's looking at, which is the positive portion of the 30 to 60 second clip, rather than the 30 to 60 second clip that is warning everyone of the problems. That is sad. Really, the sad part is the fact that it has to be done in a short form content, because we just no longer have the capability to sit down and watch something anymore. You just need to, if you don't get that dopamine hit in the first few seconds, you scroll to the next thing. You have to scroll to the next thing because you need that dopamine hit.
I wish it was that easy. Even after the ban, these procedures are still happening.
Humans can't change their biology? No, they cannot.
It's not really underground. They're literally just hiding it in plain sight. These clinics don't just disappear. They adapt, they rename everything, and they tweak the marketing just enough so it doesn't sound illegal anymore. They have access to growth factor for general use, which means they have access to growth factor injections for illegal use. And people, without doing their research, still fall for it. I mean, you guys, if they can't show proper certification, licensing, or actual medical documentation, you just gotta dip. Remember, a lot of these influencers who are promoting it, they're getting paid. And whatever happens to you is not their responsibility. You know what? I'll tell you what, guys. If you ever think of getting something done to your face, just don't do it. Unless you're looking like me.
He went back to the tiny little face. You need to change it up. You need to change it up. Oh. Hey, your eyes grew big. You don't look Asian. Yeah, because I did this. I had to do this for the doom scrolling. Your eyes are glued to the doom scrolling. Yeah. I just find that really sad. I find that really sad because society's fallen apart. It's absolutely fallen apart, and it's being encouraged by people trying to sell you something. Instead of trying to sell people like how to better their lives, how to focus on themselves, Pepsi City, hello. How to just be their best self, how to be happy with who you are, how to, honestly, self-love. How to self-love, which is honestly one of the most important things anyone can have. Like I've always said, there are only 3 opinions that matter in life. What God thinks of you, what you think of yourself, and what your significant other thinks. However, if I'm talking to my wife, it's what my significant other thinks, what God thinks, and then what I think of myself, because she goes first, of course. But when I say it, I always just go, whatever. But with that kind of mindset, it's so much easier to live a happy life. Why? Because no matter what, no matter where you are on the belief standpoint, God will always love you. God will always love you. That's just so. No matter what, you always got one backing you. You always got one backing you. Hey, Vladimir Putin, you always got one backing you. And then with this significant other, if you're lucky enough to have somebody, they can have your back. And you can always love yourself. You can always find something about yourself. But the thing is a lot of people get stuck in this mindset where they feel like they're being judged by the hundreds to thousands to millions to billions of people on planet Earth. But the thing is, if you remove those hundreds of thousands of millions to billions of people on planet Earth and only have it to what God thinks, what you think, what significant other thinks, guess what? It's so much easier not to get so depressed on what people say. Why? Because they're not included. They don't matter. They don't matter. And if people actually thought more that way, they'd be far more happier. The problem is so many people think of what other people say, what other people do. And I can understand maybe your family, you want to include your family and think what they say. So if you don't have a significant other, remove that, put a sibling that you respect and who gives you good advice, or a family member who you respect and gives you good advice, or some kind of elderly figure that you respect and gives you good advice. You know, that way you can always have a positive kind of look on life instead of constantly looking at how many people hate you, or how many people are judging you, or how many people, and most of the time, people don't even think about you that way. But a lot of people, as soon as they start thinking of everyone else judging them, they start to believe everyone else is judging them. But people need to stop thinking of other people as judging them. They need to stop caring about their opinions to begin with. Like there's one thing of getting criticism, and then there's another of literally butchering your life, butchering your face, completely disfiguring yourself. And I personally believe just going under the knife to change, one little thing. I want Botox injections. Even in Botox injections, I'm against. I'm absolutely against. Now, if you're someone with who was born with a cleft lip, or you're dealing with like a burn, or some people are unhappy when they have like what is it where you're born with like the patchy skin, like those kinds of things. Sure, you want to feel like everybody else, fine. But when you're literally like me, my wife, most people in general going for something because they just don't feel enough, that's sad. That's sad, because everyone should be enough. Everyone should absolutely be enough. As one Indian movie said, either there was a market in the society, now entire society is a market. Honestly, that is true. Yo, Jay, yo. Yeah, that is completely true. Society is the market, and everyone's a marketeer. Is that correct? Everyone's a salesman. Everyone's a salesman. The funny thing is me trying to sell self-help and encouragement isn't as profitable as someone trying to sell you injections, someone trying to sell you supplements, someone trying to sell you placebos, someone trying to sell you, get a hammer and smash your face with it. Yeah, more people just need to be out there being helpful, being supportive, being encouraging towards others, and encouraging them not to listen to even me, not to listen to the person telling to them. You have to, like, that's the thing. I will preach that, like the 3 opinions. But the thing is, if I'm critical of somebody and they've heard me say that before, they can easily throw that in my face. Like, yep, they're exactly right. They're exactly right. They shouldn't care what I say. Sure, everyone has opinions. Everyone should be allowed to voice their opinions. But you don't have to take someone else's opinions as gospel. Because you're your own person. You are your own person. Oh, okay. Can we expect a bathtub stream from you at some point? I'm not that kind of streamer. Go to Twitch if you're looking for that. Go to Twitch. I know I'm on Twitch, but not really. Not exactly. But yeah. Go to Twitch. Maybe there's some of those on Kick, but that's not me. That's not me.
You guys got a video? So bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, where's that?